Now, a CBS 2 exclusive investigation. She's only 16 years old and already a sex trafficking victim.
So what does DCFS do? We've learned they placed her with a 3-time convicted felon who's now accused of forcing her into prostitution.
CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini has been exposing state child welfare system failures for years. He joins us now. Dave, this is hard to believe.
It is almost unreal what happened to this foster child, but the fact is DCFS placed a child sexual assault victim into the care of a man who should have never been given a license to be a foster parent.
A troubled 16-year-old girl was sent to this apartment building by DCFS. The state agency in charge of protecting her placed her in a foster parent's home here at the corner of 80th and Hermitage. But during our years-long investigation into DCFS, the CBS 2 investigators made an astounding discovery. The licensed foster parent who the state entrusted to care for that 16-year-old girl was a 24-year-old man with a lengthy felony criminal record. His name is Eric Johnson, and he's also an accused sex trafficker.
They license him as a foster parent. They license this 24-year-old pimp as a foster parent for a 16-year-old girl who had a history of being they were paying tax money to him as a foster parent while he was trafficking a 16-year-old girl in DCFS care.
For 3 years now, we've been investigating DCFS. We've uncovered a disturbing pattern by DCFS, bouncing children from home to home and not getting kids like this girl the proper specialized care. We discovered the teen's case this week when a judge heard evidence of how DCFS hired a psychologist nearly a year ago who told the Child Welfare Agency the girl needed to be in a secure residential treatment sex trafficking program.
So you're saying, on top of everything else, she had a history of being trafficked.
That's right.
And they put her in a home with a pimp.
That's right.
We asked Cook County Public Guardian Charles Goldbert about the way DCFS handled her case.
She needed a secure residential placement that was highly structured and had an intensive program for victims of sex trafficking. And DCFS never did that. They bounced her around from hospital to shelter to foster home.
The court order we obtained says while she has waited to get the proper care and placement she needs, the teen has been trafficked, sexually assaulted, shot, lived on the streets. Ultimately, the agency made a pimp the child's foster parent.
Over this 1 year, this girl has been raped, she's been trafficked, she's been abused, she's been beaten up, and she's been shot. She actually has a bullet in her leg.
We found Johnson has a lengthy criminal record. The teen was placed with him just months after he was released from federal prison after a 24-month sentence on a firearms charge. Before that, he spent 3 years in state prison for 2 robbery convictions. Despite all that, Johnson passed placement clearance and was approved by DCFS to become a foster parent.
How does a guy like that get licensed?
Yeah, it's impossible. It should be impossible. It shocks the conscience. It's of a level of negligence that's criminal.
Johnson's latest charges detailed in this court record say the juvenile victim was being advertised and prostituted on a known sex website.
What does this say about the background checking system at DCFS?
It says that they're not doing background checks. It says that it's broken. It says that it's dysfunction. It says that maybe we're at the point that we should just abolish DCFS altogether.
Goldbert says he's now exploring the possibility of filing a civil rights lawsuit on behalf of the child against DCFS. We are digging into how all of this happened, and we will stay on it, Joan Marie.
What's the latest on the girl, Dave?
Great question. The girl is in a shelter, and she is still awaiting a treatment program. They're giving DCFS until March 27th.
The 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. We know you'll stay on it and looking forward to updates on this.
We got to find out how this guy got this kid.
Absolutely. All right, Dave Savini, thank you so much.